Namaste, and welcome to our continuing series on Savitri with our beloved Ranga. Today is June 10th, 2023. We are on page 33, still in Book 1, the Book of Beginnings, Canto 3, the Yoga of the Soul's Release. His soul stood free, a witness and a king, absorbed no more in the moment-ridden flux, where mind incessantly drifts as on a raft, hurried from phenomenon to phenomenon. He abode at rest in indivisible time, as if a story long written but acted now. In his present, he held his future and his past, felt in the seconds the uncounted years, and saw the hours like dots upon a page. An aspect of the unknown reality altered the meaning of the cosmic scene. This huge material universe became a small result of a stupendous force. Overtaking the moment, the eternal ray illumined that which never yet was made. Thought lay down in a mighty voicelessness. The toiling thinker widened and grew still. Wisdom transcendent touched his quivering heart. His soul could sail beyond thought's luminous bar. Mind screened no more the shoreless infinite.
Okay. We know that Sri Aurobindo is describing Ashtapadi's experiences. He has gone to the spiritual planes of consciousness. He is experiencing the self, and all his experiences he is listing one by one. Okay, so we'll go into each one, and each sentence we will read and see what he's saying. His soul stood free, a witness and a king. So note the two things. The witness, we know very well, it represents the self, the Brahmic consciousness. So he is there. But he is also king. He is a lord of the... So this reminds me of a small incident because feeling like a king may not be limited only to Sri Aurobindo. Okay? So you are master, you are the king. So when Raman Maharshi, you know about him, he was absolutely no possessions at all. No money, no clothes, nothing. And he used to sit in the temple and go on meditating, only a loincloth, that's all. And when he felt hungry after 2-3 days, he used to go out into the town and not even a vessel. He used to beg. And they used to pour gruel into his hands and he would just take like that. In 1920s, in modern times in India, to do that like a beggar begging, and a man who is at that level. So someone asked him later on that, didn't you feel ashamed a little bit to beg like that? And you are naked and you are going in the streets and begging? He said, the question of feeling ashamed doesn't even arise. I was the emperor, a king. So he is in that consciousness. Where is the question of shame? So his soul stood free, a witness and a king, absorbed no more in the moment-ridden flux. Note the two words, moment-ridden. So, first of all, you are in time, moment-ridden, and flux, very clearly defining level 1, where there is multiplicity and constant movement. So, he is no more absorbed in the body-mind life. That's what it means. He is outside the body-mind life. Where mind incessantly drifts as on a raft. So this is the nature of the mind. When you are at level 1 in the time and space, Your mind is constantly drifting. It doesn't become silent. So for him it has become silent because he has gone above. Okay, he is a witness.
But on a raft is very, very
Yes,
appropriate.
beautiful.
Huh?
The raft
It
is going.
flows.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so drifts on a raft, hurried from phenomenon to phenomenon. Note the words. Phenomenon again suggests movement, incessant movement in the physical world. Okay, so he abode at rest in indivisible time. Okay, the mind is in time, but he is now in indivisible time. Level 2, spiritual planes of consciousness. There is no movement there at all. When you are in the self, you are in an immutable condition. So, indivisible time. Okay? Indivisible time. If time is indivisible, it cannot be broken up into hours and seconds and minutes. Therefore, it is timeless. It's an interesting way of putting it.
Yes, yes. There's a line in Savitri also, timeless in the timeless, in time ever born.
Yeah. So, as if a story long written but acted now. Very interesting. This we'll come back to it. I'll finish the sentence. In his present, he held his future and his past. Okay? So, in his present, he held his future and his past. He is able to see this way and that way. Okay? Now, this as if a story written, long written but acted now, this is a frequent experience of yogis. What happens is that when they have a spiritual experience, they say, oh, I knew it all along, but I had forgotten about it. This is the experience that many people have. They knew it because it's already there in you. Everything is there in you. If you remember, in the synthesis, he says that the eternal Shastra, the knowledge of the divine, is already there in you. And he also says the Guru also is there already in you, but hidden behind curtains. So, it is already there. You are already divine in essence. You have to discover it. So, as if a story long written, but acted now. In his present, he held his future and his past. Look at the alliteration here. His present, he held his future and his past. Okay, so felt in the seconds, the uncounted years. We come back again to the finite contains the infinite and the infinite contains the finite. Okay, so he's felt in the seconds, the uncounted years, and saw the hours like dots upon a page. The same idea, putting in different ways. Hours are long, hours are huge, but they're just a dot on the page. So, reminds you again of that famous 4 lines of Blake. To see a world in a grain of sand and heaven in a wild flower. Hold infinity in the palm of your hand and eternity in an hour. So, they're saying the same thing in different words. So, and saw the hour like dots upon a page. An aspect of the unknown reality altered the meaning of the cosmic scene. Now, 2 lines in a complete sentence. So, an aspect of the unknown reality altered the meaning of the cosmic scene. In the cosmic scene, when we are seeing forms and we take them to be real. And we are also seeing separate forms. So, we are seeing multiplicity and thinking it is real, and we are also seeing forms and we are thinking it is real. But when you go to the higher consciousness, there is something there in the higher consciousness which changes the meaning of this cosmic scene. You are not seeing the forms as separate, and you also see the forms as the most external part of reality. Behind that is the real reality. The divine presence is there behind the forms. So that's what is meaning here. Altered the meaning of the cosmic scene. The way you are seeing is altered completely in 2 ways. The forms are not as real as you thought them to be, and also the multiplicity is an illusion. These 2 ways, it alters the scene. Okay, so this huge material universe became a small result of a stupendous force overtaking the moment, the eternal ray illumined that which never yet was made. So, overtaking the moment, going beyond time. The moment is time. So, overtaking the moment, you are outside time. You have gone beyond time. So, overtaking the moment, the eternal ray, okay, the divine light, illumined that which never yet was made. Things which we never see here in the physical world, he could now see.
And T in that is all cap.
Yes,
T.
that's right. Okay.
That refers to the divinity itself, to the divine himself.
His light, the eternal ray. The light is revealing to him now things which you never see in the physical world. Okay, that's what he's saying. Never yet made. The unmanifest. Okay, so thought lay down in a mighty voicelessness. Beautiful way of saying the silent mind. Okay? Thought lay down in a mighty voicelessness. The toiling thinker widened and grew still. Wisdom transcendent touched his quivering heart. His soul could sail beyond thought's luminous bar. Mind screened no more the shoreless infinite. Again, 2 lines. So, look at the image. The luminous bar, and his soul could sail. So, the bar is here, the bar has got 100 meanings. So, here it means a bar of sand or mud or stone which is at the mouth of a river or a harbor. That's a bar. And it is going out of the shelter of the bar, okay, and going beyond. The soul is sailing beyond thought's luminous bar. Thought is limiting. It's a harbor.
Yes.
It is safe, shelter.
Yes, yes.
But now you are going beyond the bar into a silent mind. No more thought. That's what he's saying. The image is very clear. 2 words, bar and could sail. So these two give you the image of the in a harbor you are safe. Limited, very clearly limited. But now he is going beyond the bar, beyond the shelter of the
It was
harbor.
a poem that Temi asked me to read almost every day. Across the bar, Tennyson, I believe it's Tennyson's poem, Crossing the Bar. She wanted me to read that. And this is that sense of the bar.
Yes.
In the next canto, we'll have the sailor, the longest sustained imagery in Savitri, who is on the sea,
Yeah.
and all those images will come. So, across a void, retreating sky, he glimpsed through a last glimmer and drift of vanishing stars the superconscient realms of motionless peace, where judgment ceases and the word is mute, and the uncovered lies pathless and alone. There came not form or any mounting voice. There only were silence and the absolute. Out of that stillness, mind newborn arose and woke to truths once inexpressible, and forms appeared, dumbly significant, a seeing thought, a self-revealing voice. He knew the source from which his spirit came. Movement was married to the immobile vast. He plunged his roots into the infinite. He based his life upon eternity.
Fantastic. So, again he is expressing the different experiences that he had. So, mind screened no more the shoreless infinite. Again, that the image of the bar and the sailing and shoreless. That is part of the image. Okay, mind screen no more. The shoreless infinite. The shoreless infinite. We don't see it at our level because the mind is screening it. Our mind is limited and not allowing us to see it. But he has gone beyond the bar of the harbor of the mind, so he can now see it. Mind screen no more the shoreless infinite. In other words, he is seeing the infinite. Okay. Across a void, retreating sky, he glimpsed through a last glimmer and drift of vanishing stars the superconscient realms of motionless peace. Description is perfect for the Brahman consciousness. Motionless peace. Peace is there and motionless. Immutable and peace. Okay.
So he's glimpsing them only
Yeah,
now.
that's right. He's through a last glimmer and drift of vanishing stars, the superconscient realms of a motionless peace. But yeah, he glimpsed, that's right. Okay? Across a retreating sky. Even the sky is retreating. Even the sky, although the sky is infinite, even that is going away and he is seeing the infinite beyond the sky. Okay? Through a last glimmer and drift of vanishing stars. Even the stars and the sky are all retreating and vanishing. He is going beyond the universe. Stars are vanishing. The stars are in the sky. Okay? So, the superconscient realms of motionless peace. So, motionless again suggests Brahman consciousness and peace also, because you are not affected anymore by the thoughts and the emotions and the actions of the body. You are not affected at all. Peace, total peace. And the unconceived lies pathless and alone. Okay, so the unconceived is, in the previous 2-3 words, he has used the word which never yet was made. You remember? Which never yet was made, that means it is not available in the level 1, in the spirit. In the physical world, it is not seen. That never was made. Whatever is made is visible in this physical world. But what is not made, so inconceived, impossible to conceive here, there he is seeing it. Okay? The unconceived lies pathless and alone. Pathless suggests infinity, and alone suggests oneness. So, there came not form or any mounting voice. Complete silence, so no voice and no form, because it is one. If there are forms, how can you see one? You won't see one. So no forms at all, just a blank oneness.
So when he says out of the formless, the form was made.
Pardon?
Out of the formless comes the form.
That's right.
And he's above that
Yes, exactly. That's it. So he is now in the oneness. He is not seeing forms.
Yes.
He has gone beyond. There came not form or any mounting voice. There only were silence and the absolute. The absolute corresponds to the alone, and the silence corresponds to the mounting voice. There wasn't any mounting voice. So, out of that stillness, mind newborn arose. So, what does he mean here? Out of that stillness, the normal mind of man became now the higher mind, element mind, intuitive mind. New mind arose.
Yes.
Okay, that's what he's meaning. And woke to truths once inexpressible. Again, it is connected with the inconceived and not yet made. Okay, so inexpressible. That if you can express it, you can use language to describe it, but it is impossible to describe. Featureless, inexpressible. You can't express it in thought. And forms appeared dumbly significant. Okay, the forms that are there in the physical world here, there you are not seeing forms. They are symbols, dumbly significant. A symbol is dumbly significant always. Okay? If you have mother's ring, it's a symbol. You're not seeing the mother, but it is dumbly suggesting to you mother. So dumbly significant. It's a beautiful two-word image to describe a symbol, a hieroglyph. Dumbly significant. A seeing thought and a self-revealing voice. Okay? This self-revealing voices are usually experienced through the senses, through the ears. But now you are not using your ears, you are not using because you are there. You are using the voice is revealing itself without the senses. Self-revealed. Okay? It doesn't need any other instrument to reveal itself. In the physical world, everything is revealed only through the senses. So, self-revealed voice. He knew the source from which his spirit came. He can glimpse the origin of things. Okay. So, movement was married to an immobile vast. In other words, movement is the physical world and was married to the immobile vast, marrying the soil to the sky. So he can see that everything makes sense. There need not be any rejection of the physical world. Even the symbols here, the forms, there the forms have disappeared. But here the forms are significant, dumbly significant. They are symbols.
And we should hear them alliteration.
Yeah.
Movement was married to the immobile vast.
That's right. Alliteration. He plunged his roots into the infinite. Now, the roots are here and the infinite is there, and he based his life upon eternity, not on body-mind life anymore. We are basing our life all the time on our body-mind life, which is not the eternal at all. It's a temporal. So now he is basing his life on the eternal, not on the body-mind life. He has gone beyond the body-mind life. Okay? So it also suggests he plunged his roots into the infinite. There is a beautiful image of in the Gita as well as in the Rig Veda. Okay? The universe is described as a tree upside down. Urdhvamulo adhashakha. The roots are above and the branches are below, because the branches become the multiplicity. So this is the description of the involution, if you want, when the one becomes the many. So that is also there. There is a reflection of that. He plunged his roots into the infinite. The roots are usually not in the infinite. They are very much in the finite. But here the roots are in the infinite. So it is reminiscent of that image in the Gita as well as in the Rig Veda.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you feel that when Sri Aurobindo has left a gap, we should just pause a few moments before we begin again?
Yeah, and think about what he has said?
Yes.
Yes,
Exactly.
certainly.
Only a while at first these heavenly estates, these large, wide-poised upliftings could endure. The high and luminous tension breaks too soon. The body's stone stillness and the life's hushed trance, the breathless might and calm of silent mind. Or slowly they fail as sets a golden day. The restless nether members tire of peace, a nostalgia of old little works and joys, a need to call back small familiar selves, to tread the accustomed and inferior way, the need to rest in a natural pose of fall. As a child who learns to walk can walk not long. Replace the Titan will forever to climb. On the heart's altar, dim the sacred fire. An old pull of subconscious chords renews. It draws the unwilling spirit from the heights, or a dull gravitation drags us down to the blind, driven inertia of our base.
So, this whole paragraph you must keep in mind, you pointed out in the previous one, across a wide retreating sky he glimpsed. So, it says he has glimpsed it. So, in this paragraph here, he is explaining that it was an experience, it was not a realization.
And he couldn't hold it so long.
Exactly. So that's exactly his experience there. This is what happens normally in spiritual experience. You have an experience and then the old nature drags you down again. Gravitation works and drags you down. So it's a beautiful description. We'll see what it is in what he is describing. It comes down naturally. This happens to everybody. Until finally the experience goes on repeating, and then you stay permanently in that new consciousness. So here he is describing how the old nature pulls you down again. Mind you, he is talking at a very high level. So even at the high level, you fall to a lower level, which is already very high compared to ours. So we mustn't think that it's an ordinary fall. Okay, it's not a fall into the senses, into ignorance. It's not a fall into ignorance. It's a fall into that previous level. He has gone up and is coming down again to that level. Only a while at first these heavenlier states, these large, wide poised liftings could endure. Again, 2 lines and 1 full sentence. So, these large poised upliftings can last only for a short time. That's what is meaning. The high and luminous tension breaks too soon. You can't stay too long there. You have to come down. The body's stone stillness and the life's hushed trance, the breathless might and calm of silent mind. Okay? So, all this cannot endure. That's what he's saying. Okay? So, the body's stone stillness and the life's hushed trance, the breathless might and the calm of silent mind. Semi, he has put a semi there. Yeah. So, these also could not endure. Now, what does he mean by the body's stone stillness? Okay, so it's a very interesting thing. There is a lot of correspondence explaining this. And many people have experienced this also. When your consciousness goes up into a certain level, there is felt a certain stone stiffness in the body. Okay, people have written to History and he has explained. When peace comes down, 2 things can happen. Not knowledge or not light, but peace. When peace comes down, either you feel ice cold,
like a block of ice,
or you feel like a stone. These are the 2 things that can occur. I have had talks with people who have had both the experiences. So one man told me it was like a block of ice. Okay, and the other said no, it is like a stone-like thing. So that's what I mean. That doesn't last. The moment you open your eyes, that stone-like feeling slowly goes away. So they could not last. Same thing. The body's stone stillness and the life's hushed trance. So body and life. The life also is in trance. The life is vital. That also is calm. It's a trance. He's using the word trance for life. Okay, so the breathless might and a calm of silent mind. The breathless might. Breathless again suggests the vital. Because the vital is the one, the breathing is part of the vital. So there is a tremendous amount of strength that you experience. Okay, in that stillness. The breathless might is the vital strength, and the calm of silent mind. So all this does not last for too long. That's what is meaning. Okay, so or slowly they fail as sets a golden day. Magnificent. He would have said ordinary day, but he said golden day. That experience was golden. But like the sun is setting, slowly. It's very interesting because this slowly failing is what's interesting. Let me tell you, I have a student here who, very young girl, okay? She knew that she is in a very special consciousness because it was so different from the other days, okay? But the whole day it lasted. It was a birthday. It was a birthday. And it lasted for the whole day. But there was an incident at home and the parents either scolded her or shouted at her or something. And she felt exactly this. She felt it slipping away. As though a robe is there, it is slowly slipping away. So she knew that she was in a special consciousness. And she came back to a normal consciousness because of the scolding. Otherwise it might have lasted. But I mentioned this because of the description. It's fantastic. Look at the description. Or slowly they fail. Slowly failing. Okay? As sets a golden day. So, the restless nether members. The nether members, body, mind, life. Tire of peace. Reminds you of another sentence? Mortality bears ill the eternal's touch. Same thing. Okay? The restless nether members tire of peace. They don't can hold peace for too long. So, a nostalgia of old little works and joys. The word nostalgia is fantastic. You know what nostalgia is? The yearning for something past. Okay? So, you will see many people saying, oh, my childhood days were magnificent. That's nostalgia. Okay? So, the old nature that you had, there's some sort of nostalgia pulling you back. That's what causes the fall. So it's a beautiful description. Nostalgia. Something even in that limited thing pulls you back into the past. Okay.
You may not agree with me again, but I feel he's speaking of humanity also in this passage.
Yes.
Because he uses the word us, he uses drags us down.
Yes.
Not dragging Ashwapati down, but dragging us down. We go through
in the
it.
context, yeah, I don't think I would agree with you because in the context, he is in that golden day. He has 3-4 pages of experiences. So now it could not last and he is coming down. We are not being dragged down. We are permanently dragged down here.
Yes, that's
So
true.
that's why I don't agree with you.
Okay.
We are not being dragged down. We are being dragged down from ignorance to worse ignorance.
So he had restless nether members?
Yes.
He did?
Yes.
In that state?
Yes, because you have been born in the physical world.
No, he.
Yes, Ashwati also was a man. Na?
I see. Okay. Okay.
A nostalgia of old little works and joys, a need to call back small familiar selves, to tread the accustomed and inferior way. There you are, inferior way. Okay? The need to rest in a natural poise of fall. As a child who learns to walk can walk not long. Okay? Replace the Titan will forever to climb. The verb is replace. What is being replaced? Restless nether members, nostalgia, need to call back, the need to rest, replace the Titan will forever to climb. So, 4-5 subjects and one
Yes,
verb.
yes.
Okay? So, all these is replacing the urge to go up. The urge, the nostalgia is bringing you down. It is replacing the golden day. Okay? Then the need to rest. Okay? To go back to familiar ways. Then the need to rest in a natural poise of fall.
Now I have the word pose of fall,
Yeah, that is their
not
pose.
poise.
Pose of fall. I have here poise of fall.
You have
but-
poise, huh?
Yeah, I had
So
poise
they
of fall.
changed it to pose
Yeah,
in my,
they've changed it to
my
pose.
edition.
Yeah,
Pose also?
Yes, pose. P-O-S-E.
it's all right. I have poise. It's an old edition. Mine is an old
Yeah.
edition.
And I think both are acceptable in a way.
And he is comparing it to a child who is just learning to walk, but he can't walk for too long. He falls down. That's exactly what's happening to Ashwapati also. Okay. Replace the Titan will for ever to climb. The Titan will, you want to go up, but the old nature is not allowing you to do that, it's bringing you down. Now, replace the Titan will for ever to climb. On the heart's altar, dim the sacred fire. Now, this is also a very interesting sentence. On the heart's altar, the heart is being pictured as an altar where the fire is burning. Okay? But now that fire, which was there burning fire now, is being dimmed.
In
So,
Ashwapati.
dim here is a verb.
In Ashwapati.
Yes.
Okay.
On the heart's altar, dim the sacred fire. Replace, all this is replacing, and all this is also dimming the sacred fire in his heart. So, dim is a verb here, just like replace. So, all these things, nostalgia, need to rest, need to come down, all this is replacing his golden day and also dimming the sacred fire in the heart. Okay. An old pull. This is selected by Mother, this passage. Okay. An old pull of subconscious chords renews. It draws the unwilling spirit from the heights, or a dull gravitation drags us down to the blind driven inertia of our base. This too the supreme diplomat can use. He makes our fall a means for greater rise. The sentence ends here. So I'll end here only. For into the ignorant nature's gusty field, he has put a comma and he goes on to the next sentence. So, very clear here, the old nature is dragging you back. The past has a tremendous force to take you back to the
But you keep
Old
say
nature.
driving you back.
Pardon?
You say it's driving you back.
Yes.
You, us,
Yes,
back.
yes, but also
But
Ashwapati.
not Ashwapati.
No, it's happening to Ashwapati also.
Okay, all right. Accepted.
This is natural. As I said, Ashwapati is not being dragged back to our level. He is being dragged back to the old, higher level only. Okay, so this too now this is a very interesting sentence. This too the supreme diplomat can use. Look at that. Supreme diplomat. A diplomat is one who uses words very carefully, and sometimes he doesn't mean what he's saying. Okay, so the diplomat is telling you to go down. It's a failure, but even the failure can be used by him. In what way? The urge to go back to where you came from will be strengthened. That's what he's meaning. He said that very clearly in the synthesis. Once you have that experience, you always want to go back there. Old nature is pulling you back. Yes, tell me.
There's a line in he makes our fall a means for greater rise.
Exactly. The same thing you say here in different words.